Rejection is an almost unavoidable aspect of being human. No one has ever succeeded in love or in life. Here are some ways mentally strong people overcome rejection. A rejection is nothing more than a necessary step in the pursuit of success. KFC owner faced rejection 1,009 times 4 years later. He bought a motel which burned to the ground along with his restaurant. Yet this determined man rebuilt and ran a new motel until World War II forced him to close it down. Following the war, he tried to franchise his restaurant. His recipe was rejected 1,009 times before anyone accepted it. Rejection isn't a sign that something is wrong for you, it's a sign that they're wrong for you. Jack Ma's life is perhaps the greatest example of success through failure. He failed primary school twice and middle school 3 times. He also failed his university entry exam 3 times. He was rejected by the police force and even KFC. King. The manuscript was rejected 30 times before being picked up by Doubleday. It went on to sell over 1 million copies and become a successful film. Since then, King has published over 54 novels, 200 short stories, and won numerous awards for his contributions to literature. J.K. Rowling, according to some sources, she was rejected by 12 major publishing houses in the UK. It wasn't until a year after her first attempt that Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, titled Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in the US, was recognized as a tale worth printing. How mentally strong people deal with rejection. They acknowledge their emotions rather than suppress, ignore, or deny the pain. Mentally strong people acknowledge their emotions. They admit when they're embarrassed, sad, disappointed, or discouraged. They have confidence in their ability to deal with uncomfortable emotions head-on, which is essential to coping with their discomfort in a healthy manner. Whether you've been stood up by a date or turned down for a promotion, rejection stings. Trying to minimize the pain by convincing yourself or someone else it wasn't quite no big deal and quite will only prolong your pain. The best way to deal with the uncomfortable emotions is to face them head-on. They learn from rejection. Mentally strong people ask themselves, and what did I gain from this, and so they can learn from rejection. Rather than simply tolerate the pain, they turn it into an opportunity for self-growth. With each rejection, they grow stronger and become better. Whether you learn about areas in your life that need improvement, or you simply recognize that being turned down isn't awful as you imagined, rejection can be a good teacher. Use rejection as an opportunity to move forward with more wisdom. They treat themselves with compassion rather than think, and you're so stupid for thinking you could do that, and mentally strong people treat themselves with compassion. They respond to negative self-talk with a kinder, more affirming message. Whether you got dumped by your long-term love or blindsided by a recent firing, beating yourself up will only keep you down. Speak to yourself like a trusted friend. Drown out your harsh inner critic by repeating helpful mantras that will keep you mentally strong. They refuse to let rejection define them. Mentally strong people don't make sweeping generalizations when they're rejected. If one company turns them down for a job, they don't declare themselves incompetent. Or, if they get rejected by a single love interest, they don't conclude they're unlovable. They keep rejection in proper perspective. One person's opinion, or one single incident, should never define who you are. Don't let your self-worth depend upon other people's opinions of you. Just because someone else thinks something about you, doesn't mean it's true. They view rejection as evidence they're pushing the limits. Mentally strong people know that rejection serves as proof that they're living life to the fullest. They expect to be rejected sometimes, and they're not afraid to go for it, even when they suspect it may be a long shot. If you never get rejected, you may be living too far inside your comfort zone. You can't be sure you're pushing yourself to your limits until you get turned down every now and then. When you get rejected for a project, passed up for a job, or turned down by a friend, you'll know you're putting yourself out there. Use rejection to your advantage. A rejection is a chance to consider if there are things we can work on. It's okay to think about whether there's room for improvement or if your goals were higher than your skills. If your skills weren't strong enough this time, maybe you need to work on your game, your studies, your interview technique, or whatever it takes to improve your chances of getting accepted. Next time, use the rejection as an opportunity for self-improvement. Sometimes a rejection is a harsh reality check, but if you approach it right, it could help nudge you in a direction that turns out to be the perfect fit for your talents, personality, and all the really great things that make you who you are. Shift your perspective. Our ability to see things as changeable can have a strong influence on how we deal with rejection. Stanford researchers recently found that a person's basic beliefs about personality can contribute to whether they recover from or remain mired in the pain of rejection. Their studies revealed that individuals who have fixed mindsets and see personality as more set in stone are more likely to blame themselves and their own toxic personalities for a breakup. When they experience a rejection, they tend to second-guess and criticize themselves and regard future relationships as less hopeful. On the other hand, individuals who have growth mindset see their personalities as something that can be altered or developed. They're able to look at the breakup as an opportunity to grow and change. They're hopeful that their romantic future will improve and relationships will get better. People with a growth mindset recover emotionally from a breakup much more quickly. If we can embrace this idea that life is flexible and that losses offer us opportunity, we can grow more within ourselves and suffer less when we experience a rejection. Make sure to hit subscribe button for future videos.